Hello, everybody. My name is Miss Renee from the Boys and Girls Club of Lanier, and specifically at the Chicopee Woods site, Chicopee Woods Elementary School site. Today I'm recording a video for you that is for STEM. It's a really cool experiment where we are investigating the different densities of liquids. It's really cool. I actually did it before I recorded just to make sure that it worked. And I enjoyed it, so I hope that you enjoy it too. And you'll probably have all of the ingredients that you'll need around your house. So to start off, I'll show you what I've got. So this is what you will need for our experiment. I'm gonna move my screen down. So you will need a clear glass so that you can kind of see the experiment happening in a clear glass. You will need water, which I already have. And as you can see, my glass isn't full. It's like a little above halfway in my glass because you're going to be adding another liquid in here. The other liquid that we are adding is vegetable oil. So you will need vegetable oil, or you can use olive oil or baby oil, some kind of oil. You will also need salt, just like your normal table salt, and you will also need food coloring, the fun part. So these are all the ingredients that you will need as we experiment with the densities of liquid. And so I'm going to kind of explain first, before we go into our experiment, what density is. Density is basically, we're looking at two different things in density: the volume and mass of a liquid. The mass of a liquid is how much you have of it. The volume is how much space it takes up, if that makes sense. So in our glass of water, like I said, I have it about a little over halfway, just regular water. So now I'm going to put in the oil. And before I do, I want you to take a second and kind of think, what do you think the oil is going to do? Do you think that the oil is going to sink, which means that it would be more dense than the water if it sinks? If it floats, it's less dense than the water, which means the water is a little heavier than the oil. So let's see what happens. So I'm going to show you my little glass. I'm going to pour. All right, you have your predictions about what we're going to do. So, and I'm just pouring, you don't want to put too much oil in there, just enough that you get, ooh, do you guys see what it's doing? So I would say you don't want to bring it all the way up to the glass, like to the top. You just want to pour a little bit in there, so you get a nice layer. So as you can see, so you know, about 3 good pours is what I just did. So what do you observe? I'm going to bring it up so that you can kind of see it a little bit better. The oil is on top. It's floating, which means that the oil is less dense than the water. The water is a little heavier than the oil. So now we're going to put some food coloring in there. We're gonna, and I want you to make your prediction. What do you think the food coloring is going to do? Is it going to sink, or is it going to float like the oil did? I'm gonna use blue because blue is my favorite color. You use whatever color you have. So I'm gonna bring it back down so you can kind of see. So I'm putting 4 drops. Oh, and as you can see, it floated. It did not, you can see the little, it's on the bottom of the oil. Okay, so it did not sink to the bottom. So it's the same density as the oil. It's just kind of sitting there, oh, on the bottom of the oil. Actually, one of mine actually kind of released. So if you want to look at it, it's kind of like a firework. It looks like a firework. So that wasn't necessarily supposed to happen, but if it does, it's still cool to look at. So the other thing I'm going to add is salt. So I'm actually going to just open my salt and I'm going to pour it in. And I want you to, oh, and that one released too. So we're gonna, but that's only 2 bubbles. So we're gonna look and see what the salt makes it do. Look at, the more salt I add. Ooh, do you see that? I don't know if you can really see that. And now it's really dropping. The salt, the reason why the little food coloring drops are now going down is because the salt is heavier than the oil and the water. The salt has more density. So it causes the little drops of the food coloring to go down. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but if you watch it long enough, what's going to happen is the oil is going to float back up to the top. You probably can't see it in my video, but it almost looks like a lava lamp. Okay, you can maybe kind of see the oil going back. So once the salt starts dissolving, it's causing the oil, because again, it's less dense in the water, to go back up to the top. And it's like a homemade lava lamp, which I think is pretty cool. So you can see, I don't know if you can see, but I can see the little drops of the oil that drop down are going back up. So in this experiment, we again looked at the density of the liquids. We saw that the oil is less dense than the water, which again means that it's not as heavy as the water is. But we saw that the salt was heavier than both the oil and the water, which is why the salt was able to bring the drops of the food coloring down. But then because again, the oil is less dense, the oil started to go back up to the top and started floating. So, and I still see some of the oil is trying to go back up in my little cup. So I hope that you have fun with this experiment. It's kind of fun. And what you could also do is you can mix the colors together, see what kind of mixtures you get. But you have your own little lava lamp in a cup, which I think is cool. So I hope you like this experiment. Again, my name is Miss Renee, and hopefully I'll be coming at you with some more really cool STEM activities to do at home. So miss you guys. Hope you're doing well. Stay safe. Bye.